All right, welcome everybody to the 2020-2021 school year. And I hope it's a really good one. It's going to be a really different one, that's for sure. So, as you might have guessed, my name is Mr. Kozak. I'm going to be your English 2 teacher. And this is just a little introduction to kind of get to know me. We'll have my face up on Canvas quite a bit, so you're going to get to know my face just like I want to get to know yours. But this is just kind of a good general overview from me and a little bit about the course. So just kind of getting to the central part of what the course is about. It's really about reading, writing, and discussion. Um, I'm altering some things this year, so that word discussion is really important. But discussion is pretty difficult to do really well online. And so we're going to change that third one to communication in general because we're going to be doing a lot of different types of discussion based activities. And we're really going to have to become much better communicators almost immediately because of this format. We're going to have to be in a space where when you have questions, you feel like you can come to me, and you have to kind of make sure that you're involving me in a lot more information than you're probably used to involving teachers. Just because I don't get to physically see you, so I won't necessarily know to start a conversation. And we'll get into a lot of that in our first couple days, how important that communication factor is. Our goal is to become a better communicator using each of these different modes. So that was always part of the course, but again, now it's going to be even more important that we're good communicators. What's going to happen by being better at these specific skills is you're going to become a better student, you're going to become a better citizen, and you're going to be better prepared for the next level of your life, whether that's college, whether that's career, whether that's military or trade school, whatever that next feature is. All of them really require that you become a better communicator and do a better job with being able to keep in touch with human beings. We have a lot of different smaller focuses. So when we look into something like reading, which is a big focus, we split that into fiction and nonfiction. We look at some American texts. We look at some world literature texts as well. So kind of thinking about where's our place in our community, where's our place in the larger community that might be the city, the country, where's our place as a citizen of the world, and what is our responsibility to the people around us. So these are some interesting questions that we're going to get into in the class. And I think we're going to find that during COVID, all of these become even more to the forefront. Like each thing that we talk about, your role as a responsible citizen, right? It looks different now that we're in a pandemic. Our writing is also going to have multiple modes. That's going to include analysis, personal narrative, some creative writing, short writing, as well as research and argumentation. That's through the whole year. We're definitely going to be using writing in a lot of different ways to showcase your skills. And so, writing and kind of becoming a better writer is naturally a part of the course. And then we're going to look at very specific writing assignments and how we're going to grow from those writing assignments as well. And then our discussions, they're going to vary. So sometimes they're going to be pointed, like what they're reading. Sometimes you're going to have student-led conversations. In fact, a lot of the formats that I'm messing with right now, it's going to cause you to have to talk to each other and kind of show me that you've made that communication possible. Sometimes we'll do teacher-led discussion, but honestly, that's going to be a lot less this year, just because we won't have as many, face-to-face interactions. And even when we do, there are going to be things where we're focused on Canvas and how that kind of works through Canvas. So a lot more of the conversations are going to be led by you guys. So what's required to be successful in this class? Well, no surprise, communication is key. Being able to talk to me email me, emailing Miss Werner, using Remind, using Twitter, using, all of the things that are going to be possible for you to keep in contact with us is going to be really important. Keep up with what we're doing. So my job this year more than ever is to very clearly say, here are the things that I want you to get done by this and this time, because everything is going to be done so that when we have that live class opportunity a couple times a week, then you're prepared to talk about it. You're prepared to act on it. You're prepared to ask new questions on it. You're prepared to let the thinking become dynamic. And that's a little bit of why I chose to do Tuesday and Thursday courses, is because Monday, if you're not spending time over the weekend, at least you're spending some time on Monday doing work. So on Tuesday, when we come to class, you're fresh with new ideas, you're ready to go. So being in class physically, that's it means something different this year, right? One of the things that it means is that you do need to show up when it's time to show up. It also means that you are actually engaged in class during that time. So we're going to talk about how you need to be a different student, and how those things that are complicating in your lives already, staying at home, having access to pretty much anything you want to do at any time. It's going to be hard to switch out of that mode and say, like, well, now I am in class and I need to do the things that a successful student does, like not look at my phone while we're in class. It's going to be really hard to do this year. So you have to be the person behind that, making sure that those actions are intentional. Completing work in a timely manner. So we're going to see what the pace of work looks like. I'm going to be asking you a lot of your feedback. Is this going too fast? Is this going too slow? Some of the benefit of doing online education is that you get to work at your own pace. So you can wait until Sunday and do 3 or 4 assignments at the same time if that's your pace. Likewise, it's my job to make sure that things are clear enough that you don't need a whole lot of additional guidance from me to do one activity. However, maybe you don't understand the whole arc of the conversation, and therefore you need to kind of think about the whole process a little differently. Being invested in your learning, in your performance, in your grades. Those are things that are always kind of required of students, but really thinking like this year is your journey. My job is to get you on the boat, to get you moving, to show you how to handle things, but your job is to move forward with that journey. And again, more than ever, this is a year where you've got to really own that, because what we can't do is go around to your room and tap you on the shoulder and say, is everything okay today? What we can't do is say, hey, I noticed you had some real difficulty in this as I'm reading what you're writing in class. I can only respond to what you give me, right? So some of those interventions that are so rich and so powerful, they're not going to happen this year. We're going to have to find new ways to do that. So you probably want to know a little bit about me. I consider myself a writing teacher first and foremost. I absolutely love writing. It's a core part of who I am. I am a writer. And so teaching writing to young people, that's one of my favorite things to do. Like I said, I am a writer. I'm also a cook. I'm a reader. I'm a student. I'm a traveler. And my kind of outlook on life is it's always about the next challenge or the next opportunity. It's always about taking in a new experience. And so all of the things that I kind of find to be my true values, my true self, revolves around this idea that life is for living. And life is for having these experiences and growing as a person. And for me, education is a major way that happens in my life. And I'm constantly going back to school because I love being engaged in the process of learning. I'm constantly reading new books because I'm interested in what interesting authors have to say about the world, and that always gives me new insights. I'm interested in artistic expression, and kind of making something your own, which is where the cooking and the writing comes in. And I'm a curious person. Like, that's a muscle that I've really flexed over the last several years. And it's something that kind of compels me to want to learn more. And so that's a big part of who I am. So I said I like going to school. I'm at my fourth program right now. I got my bachelor's degree from St. Louis University in English with an emphasis in American literature and medieval literature. I got my master's in the art of teaching from Lindenwood. I recently got my master's in fine arts and creative writing from the University of the South in Sewanee, Tennessee. And I'm currently taking online classes myself, pursuing an educational doctorate in leadership learning and organizations from Vanderbilt University. And just a little bit more about me. I do have two critters at home. You can maybe hear Twain kind of begging to play with this toy that squeaks that he likes to play with as soon as I am in front of this screen. So that's Bark Twain the dog, and Cat Sajak the cat. And you'll probably see them a little bit as we move into the course. I'm really excited to have you guys in class this year. I'm really excited to get to know you, and I'm looking forward to all the learning that we're going to do together.